Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the 4 a.m. Crew podcast. I'm Dom, and I'm joined by Cole, as Colton is not here today because he is super tired, and it's another sports podcast, and he's just not interested in those sometimes. And we don't judge here. Make sure to give a follow to us on Twitter at the 4 a.m. Crew Pod. We have our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, the 4 a.m. Crew podcast. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube to leave a like and subscribe. And let's get into it, Cole.
Yeah, we just got done. This is the second podcast of the night. Trying to get a couple out because we've been kind of like lazy on uploading, but we just got done with one. So, yeah, let's get into it. A lot more talking. Starting off with the NFL wild card recap. Now these games were a little bit wild and overtime happy.
You did not just say they're a little bit wild as the wild card. That was corny.
Hey,
That was corny.
hey, gotta put a little bit of a little punchline, getting
I,
people.
okay, but I will agree with you. The games were very good. I think every game was a good game.
Dude, overtime happy. This is what was it? The first time the Wild Cards went into overtime, and then the Saints went into overtime after the Houston game. That
Yeah.
was
Let's start off with that Houston game. Um, for Buffalo fans, I'm very, very sorry because you guys may have thought that this game was yours to win in the third quarter. Unfortunately, your team fell apart for you again.
and throughout the game. Once the Texans started doing good, they were praising like Deshaun was the god.
Buffalo, was it the fourth quarter overtime where they had the sack on Deshaun Watson and he spun out and it was overtime and he just threw the bomb.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
was he
must
was really
hurt.
elusive,
That must hurt.
but I want to talk
Yeah,
about the Bills quarterback. What was his name? Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen.
What are you doing?
Oh, you talking about the little toss backwards?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Josh, what are you thinking there, man? You got the first down, you had great yardage, and you just randomly decide to toss it backwards to someone that's not even paying attention. So then your teammate has to hit it out of bounds and get a 15-yard penalty.
Well, luckily it got negated for some reason.
It's
But
still like, that was a
that's not
horrible
smart. It's just
decision. What
take
were
the
you doing?
you lost yards because it was backwards. Granted, if he would have caught the ball, he would have went far.
Yeah, but they ended up out of field goal range eventually, and it cost them the game into overtime.
Yeah, and on that drive that made them punt the ball, they just got sacked and sacked and sacked.
Yeah, eventually you gotta as a quarterback you can't allow yourself to get sacked that many times. You either gotta find an open
Throw
receiver,
the
you gotta
ball.
throw it away, you gotta
Throw
do
it
something. You
away.
can't allow yourself to get sacked that many times. Um, Bills fans, I'm sorry. In the middle of the third quarter, it looked as if the Bills were going to keep the game, pull away, and move on to the divisional round and win a playoff game for the first time since 1995. However, that didn't happen. You're still waiting for that playoff win, and it's just a heartbreak. Another heartbreak.
If anybody watched that game and they always have JJ Watt mic'd up, that dude is so funny when he's mic'd up. That dude's hilarious.
First game back after he was expected to miss the whole season. That's impressive.
And he was big. He was a big impact in it. So
Always a guy like JJ Watt, he's
Texans,
always
once
got
they
to have
got in
some
a
kind of
roll,
impact.
they went into overtime, started slow, and they won. That's as simple as that. They started out slow and then kicked on the Jets.
Now to the second wild card game of that day, the upset that Dom called in the Snapchat group chat.
I think we
The
all wanted
Titans.
this. I think everybody in the world wants this.
When the Patriots lose, America wins, and that's exactly what happened. The Tennessee Titans win into Foxborough, Gillette Stadium against the so-called GOAT Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and they won 20-13.
You called him what did you call him?
The
The goat?
so-called GOAT. I didn't call him the GOAT. The
I
so-called
don't think
GOAT.
he's a
He's not
goat
a GOAT.
anymore, but we'll get into that after these. He's definitely
I
not
don't
the
think he
goat
ever was
anymore.
a GOAT.
But yeah, Titans. Oh my god.
I expected this. I told you, Derrick Henry is a monster,
I
and he
mean,
showed it. 34 carries for 182 yards.
and then
That
Tannehill also. I mean, he didn't play too well, but he opens up the running game for him.
Oh yeah, Tannehill didn't play a bad game. He had a great throw in the end of the game to seal the deal. One of the best throws of the day. Put it
Yeah.
on the money. Got the first down. Knee the ball.
They
But yeah, Patriots, your offense non-existent, 13 points. Tommy Brady, that's your guy, right? New England, Tom Brady. Where what'd he do? What happened?
I want to talk about the ending.
Oh, the pick six? Are we talking about the pick six?
Talking about the game winner.
Oh, Tom.
Come on.
First pass of your game winning drive. Oh, no game losing drive. You threw the pick six to seal the deal. New England fans everywhere were in pain. Then you have the hope of the whatever, like 10 seconds left on the kickoff, and Julian Edelman just dropped the ball instead of tossing it back. So then James White had the worst lateral I've ever seen in my life and just threw it 15 yards backwards to the goal line. I thought they just wanted the Titans to score again.
I was so happy when the Patriots lost.
I think everybody was happy. But yeah, this game, obviously a little bit of a sloppy game, but it was still a really entertaining game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
I
didn't
think
think it
it's
was
just
gonna be
because
that
everybody
entertaining,
wanted the
but
Patriots to lose, so you just sit there, and the more they don't score, it was entertaining.
and it's always great when the Patriots lose at home.
Oh yeah, because Foxborough is the hardest place to play. Well, guess what? You just lost to the Titans there, buddy. The Titans, and they aren't very impressive. They're 9-7.
But let's move on to the another amazing game, the Sunday games.
Okay, but let's not forget, folks. Tom Brady played terrible, and we're gonna come back to him later because I just can't wait to nitpick on that fucker.
Yeah, we got two more games and then we'll talk about Tom Brady. All right, Vikings and Saints.
Oh, Saints fans, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're a
These
Saints
last
fan.
3 years have been awful for you guys. Final plays of the games have not been nice to you. Pass interferences have not been nice to you. The Vikings have not been nice to you. And well, nothing changed in this game. A game that everybody expected you guys to win. Like I think out of all 4 games, I think the Saints were the biggest lock to win their game.
Yeah, the main
I
thing I
don't think
want to talk.
anybody expected the Vikings to win.
I didn't. I thought the Saints were the team that everybody thought was gonna go far because they
They
played.
thought they were Super Bowl bound.
Yeah, the main thing that just shook me about this game is why everybody thinks that game-winning touchdown was a catch
They knew it was a catch. They just thought it was a pass interference,
or
and
yeah,
they
pass
have
interference. Yeah,
general reason to believe it was pass interference. When a
yeah.
tight end that's 6'6" and 280 pounds extends his arm against a cornerback that's probably 6'1", 200, there's gonna be a decent amount of space in between them because of it. And you can even see the Saints cornerback's head whip back because of the push. Now, maybe they were tug fighting a little bit before that, and that makes it okay. But you got to at least review it. You got to review for a reason. Like it doesn't hurt to review the play, and they didn't even review it. And that's what pisses most people off is that it wasn't even reviewed.
The thing I want to see in the NFL now, more with wide receivers, tight ends, etc. The push off it happens every play that there's a passing play, and
Especially for tight ends.
they mainly don't call it. So why
Yeah,
in this scenario when it's a game winning, they need to overlook it. If you're not gonna call it on a regular opening drive, don't call it at the end. That needs to be
yeah,
put in place because
they
that
need
is
to
the
figure it
worst.
out.
That's
They
the
need to figure it out.
worst.
If they're gonna call it, because it technically is pass interference.
Yeah, you're pushing off
Extending,
and creating that
yeah,
distance so nobody that he's like a foot away from you. It makes it an easy catch. You need to call that. That needs to be a rule in place.
unfortunately, it didn't. But however, you can't just blame this one play on the Saints' loss. They just didn't look very good. I don't know what Drew Brees was doing this game, but
What
he
about
was
Drew
not the
Brees
Drew
not
Brees
protecting
that's
the
been
ball?
playing all year. That too. But yeah, this wasn't the Drew Brees that everybody's seen all year. This is a different Drew Brees. This is the Drew Brees that people have been saying has not been showing up in the recent playoffs. And unfortunately, that narrative continues because he just was not great today. I mean, not today, but
Sunday he was not. He was.
yeah, he just wasn't. And Kirk Cousins finally had that one shining moment of that big expensive contract the Vikings gave him by throwing the huge pass to Adam Thielen in overtime and then finding Kevin Rudolph.
That was a bomb. That was a bomb, dude.
It really
He
was.
just chucked that thing. If he would have just got a couple more yards, they would have that whole debacle wouldn't have happened, and he would have scored like a 60-yard touchdown. But
For a moment, I was scared for the Vikings. I thought they were going to get limited to a field goal because on the one, they were stuffed twice.
yeah, and then they just had the easy play
Pass
that
interference.
everybody goes in.
Yep. And, well, that ended the Saints season and their Super Bowl hopes right there. I would tell you I was relatively surprised. I saw the Saints going to at least the NFC Championship game.
All right, enough about great games. Let's talk about Seahawks and the Eagles.
I mean, I wouldn't call this I wouldn't say it was a bad game, but it was just
Wasn't a
not
game
very
you'd want
entertaining
to.
to watch.
Yeah,
It was just a sloppy game.
and it doesn't hurt that what's his name came out early in the first quarter.
Oh, Carson Wentz?
Yeah,
That was a dirty hit by Jadeveon Clowney. It was dirty. He dove at his head.
and I want to give McCown props for
He
coming
really,
in.
McCown played decent.
Yeah, he played decent. It's
His
just
team's just not very good.
yeah, and you're playing in the Seahawks. I mean, come on.
That's true. They have one of the best defenses in the league. The Eagles, obviously, their offensive threats are limited. They don't really have that great of a receiving core. They just don't have it. They just weren't that good of a team. None of the NFC East was was good. They just weren't.
Yeah, basically that game is just one of the. That's what usually the wild cards look like. They're just not that entertaining. But this wild card was that was a lot of fun to watch. Great games.
Well, obviously, except this one. But there's not much to really say. The Eagles were in it the whole time. They just never could score. It just wasn't gonna happen. The Seahawks put it on ice after Russell Wilson threw a bomb on a play action pass to DK Metcalf, who was all over the Eagles. 7 receptions for 160 yards and a touchdown. You might want to cover him next time, Philly. But yeah, there's really not much you can say about that game in
Any
general.
team that was going to come
Nothing
out of
happened.
that conference was going to get blown out, though. I mean,
Nothing happened in this game.
yep. All right, that's enough with the wild card games. It was a great set of games. Great wild card. Let's talk about Tom Brady.
Tom fucking Brady.
You said after you lost to the Titans, you're not retiring. That's the big talk. Everybody throughout the game said you were going to retire because you looked so awful. And you just blow out right after the game and say you're not retiring. What the fuck are you thinking?
Tommy, let me tell you something, buddy. You said a few years back that you will retire when you suck. Newsflash.
You suck. You are terrible.
You are the reason the Patriots regressed so much the final few games of this season. You were horrible.
All good things must come to an end, Tom. That's now. You suck.
Unfortunately, it won't come to an end because he's not going to end his career on a pick six. And two, somebody will be willing to sign him. It may even be the Patriots.
Yeah, that's the real question. Do you think he's staying? If I'm him, you have all the money in the world.
Patriots giving him away.
Yeah, they don't want to give him away.
He's a free agent.
But they don't.
But I don't think he leaves. I think if they offer, he stays. And I think for some odd reason, the Patriots will offer, even though he is not a good quarterback anymore.
How long is the contract?
It better be 1 year. Holy shit.
If he gets a 1 year contract, he's done after that year.
He has to be.
But it's going to be
unless
a fat
he proves
fucking contract.
in that 1 year that he can come back and play like he used to, he is done.
Wherever he goes, he better get the best offensive line he can fucking get.
If it was like, if in your opinion though, I'm gonna ask two questions. Will Tom Brady stay in the NFL next year? Will he play next year in the NFL? That's my first question. Will he play next year?
From him saying he will, I think he will stay.
Second question. Should he actually play in the NFL next year?
No, I think he should retire, go to Michigan, and help them out.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to go back to Michigan. I think he'd stay with the Patriots organization before he goes to Michigan. But I agree totally with you in that he will stay, but he shouldn't be.
He's just too old. He's getting worn out. He's not performing well. It's just not the same Tom Brady that we've seen in the past years. And he's not going to make another title run. It's just, you got to put it to an end.
Yeah, Tommy boy. I'm sorry that you suck, all right? but I'm tired of this GOAT shit going around. You're not the GOAT. One of the main things people say about him is that he has 6 rings. Let me fucking tell you something. That is a team fucking effort and a team stat. Stop giving me fucking 6 rings to defend Tom Brady as a GOAT. Because that is a team stat, and I'm tired of hearing it. A GOAT has individual stats. Give me his fucking individual stats over other people, okay? All right.
I mean, that's true because wasn't there a player on the Bulls that just sat by Michael Jordan, Pippen, and he got 6 rings, but he was on the bench? I
But
mean,
yeah, but Michael, this is my one problem with that too. They're like, Michael Jordan's a GOAT because he's got 6 rings and LeBron's got 2 or 3. If you use that, there are people in NBA history that have more rings than Michael Jordan.
yeah, you can't really talk about rings. You can talk about how they played in the ring games, but you can't talk
Yeah,
about
like you
them
can't
having
talk
rings.
about rings themselves because it's more than just one player.
Because he was on a power team. They were on
Yeah,
a stacked ass team
yeah.
back then.
Tom, retire, man. You're not going to. That's unfortunate. If you're the Patriots, do you really want to re-sign Tom Brady?
I think you look for a QB in this draft and you say fuck Tom Brady.
I feel like you keep him, you train that QB with him for the year or two, and then that QB takes over. But unfortunately, I don't think Tom Brady should be re-signed. But I think after everything he's done for the organization, I think they just hire him because of what he's done for them and the
Yeah, it might be smart for
decades he's
them,
played.
which sucks because they have Tom Brady who knows a lot about the game.
Hmm.
If he's able to mentor one of the great QBs in the draft, because there's going to be one going late. Who knows? Tom Brady doesn't run a lot. Jake Fromm doesn't run a lot. Jake Fromm needs a mentor.
Jake
Oh
Fromm.
my God, he could be the. I'm just saying, if that happens and then Tom Brady teaches Jake Fromm, holy shit, that's not good. We're looking for
Yeah.
another Patriots era, which hopes help me God, I do not want to see that.
Oh no, I hope this is the end of the dynasty, and I hope the Patriots slowly crumble for the next few years, and then they go to suck. I
I
hope
hope they
they
turn into
just suck.
the Browns when they
I
were.
hope they're the fucking Dolphins of this division, okay?
They need to go on a losing streak. They've been good for way
This is
too
my
long.
one problem, and I think why they bring back Tom Brady. Their division is so shit they can win it with him still.
Yeah, I think that the only reason they bring him back is for a mentor.
The only competition they have are the Bills, and they beat them both times this
But
year.
if Tom Brady, if you get signed for more than 1 year, you're an idiot. You're
I
gonna
mean,
get
he's not an
seriously
idiot.
hurt.
The team that signed him for more than 1 year is idiots.
Well, he's gonna get seriously hurt. He's
I
too
don't know if he can
old.
seriously get hurt, but
He's gonna get hurt, and he's gonna get hurt
I'm
hard when he
not.
gets hit.
I'm not against him getting hurt.
I just don't think he can withstand the game anymore.
I just hate Tom Brady. Tom Brady, fucking retire and go away. I'm tired of seeing your fucking face. I'm tired of the Patriots. I'm tired of you. I can't wait till this fucking dynasty ends and everybody can fucking continue to hate you while you fucking suck. I just
But
want the Patriots to suck. Can that happen, please?
hopefully it will. But enough with Tom Brady hating. Hopefully he retires, and if he doesn't, hopefully he has a shit season so he ends it. Let's talk about our NFL predictions for this coming AFC divisional playoffs this weekend.
Yeah, my predictions. Well, first of all, if you guys plan on watching the AFC games, don't, because they're not gonna be fucking close.
All right, let's start off with the glory team that beat Tom Brady, Titans versus Ravens.
I'm sorry, but come on,
Your
this
defense
game
isn't gonna stop Lamar Jackson. He's so elusive.
you're gonna need more than Derrick Henry to beat the Ravens. Like you need something more, and the Titans don't have it.
Your defense did hold Tom Brady to 13 points, but Tom
That's
Brady doesn't
Tom
move out of
Brady.
the pocket.
And by the way, Titans, I'm not trying to hate on you because I'm gonna shit on you against the Ravens because you guys are nowhere near a good team. But I'm always gonna have a little place in my heart for what you guys did. You guys will be known as a team that ended the dynasty. Thank you very much.
But in this game, just don't think your defense is going to hold up against
No,
the Ravens
not even
offense. They're too
close.
much of a powerhouse.
In Baltimore, not gonna happen. Baltimore takes this game by at least 14 points.
All
That's
right,
being generous.
let's talk about the other AFC game Texans and the Chiefs.
The Texans looked very disappointing last week against Buffalo, and I think the Chiefs are hitting some nice strides late in the season. Patty Mahomes has been looking good. They're going to be at Arrowhead. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. I don't think Deshaun Watson is a polished quarterback yet. He shows his great moments like he did last week, but there's also times where he just goes away and he's just not playing at the best potential he can. The Texans just also have a very bad defense. Their team is just not well matched up against the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs easily win this game as well.
And the Texans are not going to be in their nice cozy bowl. They're in
Yeah,
their
the
stadium.
dome,
They're
their
going to
little
be
dome.
yeah, they're going to be out in the cold. And J.J. Watt hurt shoulder. You know what happens when you play in the cold? A lot of hits hurt a lot more. Who knows if that shoulder is going to stay up? Hopefully it does. But that could be a big impact on how much he's in the game. But yeah, I gotta see the Chiefs pulling out just because the Texans didn't play well at all, and
Their defense also is a very bad defense, and the Chiefs' offense is so explosive. I don't think it's looking
and their
good for
their
them.
big impact player is iffy. So
Yeah.
see about that. Let's talk about one of the I say the bigger games, probably the biggest. Vikings 49ers.
You think this is a big game?
Yeah, I think the Vikings have a chance to upset.
No,
I think they do.
no. Last week's game against Saints was a fluke. Kirk Cousins will show his real self this week. 49ers are my pick to go to the Super Bowl. Will they win it? I don't know about that one, but I think they'll make it to the Super Bowl of the NFC, and it starts with this game against the Vikings. I think Jimmy G has a nice, decent game. Doesn't have to have a great one, just a decent one because that defense is pretty good. Bosa gets a few sacks, and the 49ers take this game by 10.
I'm going. This is my upset. I feel like Minnesota is going to play another great game. Kirk Cousins is going to
Wow.
show out.
You're picking the Vikings here.
Yes, I am. I
What?
think Kirk Cousins shows out once again. They are playing. He's playing great. The Vikings are playing great. They're coming in with a lot of momentum. Even though it is in San Francisco, I gotta give it to the Vikings. They
That's
played great,
ballsy.
and all their games have been close. This game is gonna be won by the Vikings.
Okay.
Uh, Last divisional game in the NFC and overall Seahawks and Packers.
Yeah, I think the Packers are one of the worst 13-3 teams I've ever seen in my lifetime. I think they're a fluke. I think they've had a very easy schedule, and I think the Seahawks exposed that. And I think the Seahawks win this game.
Yeah, I gotta go with you on that. Packers just don't seem like the team that's gonna win. They are a fluke. They're a 13-3 fluke. They shouldn't be with that many wins and how they've been. Seahawks are dominant for even their record 11-5. They are a dominant team, and for my predictability, I feel like they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. But I definitely see the Seahawks dominating the Packers in this game.
Yeah.
And
The Packers. Let's see. This is their schedule. They beat the Bears 10-3 in their first game. Bears aren't a good team. They beat the Vikings, decent team. Broncos, they beat them, bad team. Lost to the Eagles, not a very good team. Beat the Cowboys. Sorry, Cole, not a very good team right now.
but it was only by
Lions,
10 if you think about that.
yeah, it's only Lions, not a good team. Beat them by one. Raiders, not a good team. Chiefs, decent team, but I believe Patrick Mahomes was out for that game, so doesn't count. Um,
Lost to the Chargers.
yeah, lost to the Chargers. What the hell is that? Um, Panthers beat them, not good. Finally played a good team in the 49ers and got their ass kicked. Beat the Giants, bad team. Beat the Redskins, bad team. Beat the Bears,
Close
bad
game with the
team.
Redskins.
Vikings, once again, that's the only decent team they can beat, and then they beat the Lions, bad team. Like I don't know what to say. Like none of these games are good for them.
Yeah,
It's
what I'm
just
saying is
very
they're a 13-3 fluke. They just don't. They got lucky with their games. I mean, they just didn't play well, and all their games were close. They're just a fluke.
and yeah, they don't have to play their best games against some of the teams they played. And like I said, Seahawks are going to expose that. The Packers are favored to win this game. Apparently, we're wrong about the Packers, Cole, because they're favored to win. I don't think so. I think the Seahawks are the better team.
Well, if
I
I
think
want to
they,
bet my house, I think I'm going to go with the Seahawks instead of the Green Bay
yeah. If you have to
Packers.
pick an upset, I would pick the Seahawks.
Um, think that wraps up the NFL and predictions recap.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna be ballsy. Okay. I'm gonna be really ballsy here for a second, Cole.
go for it.
If the Titans can keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket, and I'm not saying they will, but if they can, I think the Titans win the game. If they make Lamar Jackson throw the ball more, less running, they'll win the game.
Yeah, but in the Patriots game, they did have one of their key linebackers go out hurt in the first quarter. I don't know if he's going to return for this game, but he did get hurt twice in the first quarter. So, I mean, there's a lot of things with their defense that they got fucking trampled by some of the running game, though. Like, the Patriots were able to run on them a little bit, so that's what doesn't bring that kind of shortens that thought out, you know?
Let me tell you something. The Ravens haven't lost since week 4.
Jeez. Yeah, they've been on a roll. There's
They've
something about the Ravens that seems like it's too good to be true. They're too
It's
good
Lamar
to be.
Jackson. Lamar Jackson is too good to be true. He's great, but there's something there that tells me he's not as good as he's made out to be right now.
Yeah, there's something that tells me that they're gonna go into a game and just get fucked, and they're just gonna get destroyed for some reason. I don't know. It just seems like they're too good. Like they haven't ran into that team that's just gonna destroy them or give them something they haven't seen. But they've been playing exceptional. I just can't see them losing to the
I can't
Titans.
see him losing the Titans. That's correct. I think I'm not relatively like big on it, but I don't write off the Titans in this game. I don't say they get. I don't think that. I just said they think they lose by at
No,
least
because
10.
Tannehill's been playing great. They got a
But
great running game. Their
I
offense
I
is good.
want to give the Titans a chance. I really do because I
Their
just
defense
don't
has to
find the
show up,
Ravens
and their offense
as
will.
good. Yes, that's all what it relies on is that defense. Titans, I'm rooting for you, man. I really am.
But yeah, I think that wraps up our NFL recap. Our predictions. Hopefully, we're right. If we are, $10 PayPal.
Hmm.
Let's move on to the college basketball. Nothing for the MLB has been happening yet. If there
Yeah,
is, we
it's
will
off
cover it.
season, slow season.
We covered everything with college football in our last podcast. If you guys want to go over to that, give it a look. But we're just gonna talk about college basketball games, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's talk about Ohio State losing to Wisconsin earlier this year.
Hmm. Yeah, this hurt for Ohio State. This was a home game.
Back and forth too, and
You wanted to, this is where you start to make your statement that you want to be the top of the Big Ten, and this is actually where a little rocky road starts for Ohio State.
yeah, and after they lose to Wisconsin later this week, they lose to Maryland.
This was the team that some were saying was to be the favorite to win the NCAA tournament while they were playing, and
Almost
now
went to
all of a
number one.
sudden they've lost 3 in a row.
Yep, they almost were at number one, got to number two, and then they just shit bricks and lost to Wisconsin. Then they lost to Maryland. They're gonna be
And
like a
before
top 15 team.
Wisconsin, they lost to West Virginia.
So Ohio State's got to figure something out. They have no more ranked games for a little bit, so they can focus on what the fuck they're doing wrong. Hopefully, they get right back on track.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad thing for Ohio State. I know it doesn't look good. They shouldn't be panicking. They shouldn't be worried that they were a fluke or something because they're not.
All teams are gonna go through this. I mean, Michigan State's gone through it. Michigan's gone through it. Uh, every team is gonna lose a good amount of games this season just because it's all over the place. Number one team has lost like 5, 6 times.
And it's the Big Ten. It's a lot of good basketball teams. They're all evenly matched. It's going to be back and forth.
Let's move on to Louisville losing to Florida State. Upset.
Louisville, they looked a little vulnerable in this game. Florida State had their number the whole entire game. Louisville just struggled offensively at times because of Florida State and their big bodies. And once Florida State got that lead, they never really gave it up and never really gave Louisville that chance to claw back into it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Louisville just didn't look up to par in that game.
I
Um,
mean, besides Jordan Nora with 32 points, the rest of Louisville's offense was kind of disappointing. It scares you a little bit for Louisville because if they're that reliant on their star, if he were to have a bad game in something, say like the NCAA tournament down the road, they could be cause for like potential upset alert.
this is another. I mean, it always happens when an upset happens. Florida State, 50% overall. Louisville, 38 overall percentage from the field. Whenever a team loses that's a top team, they don't shoot the ball well. They got to get in the paint somehow if you're not shooting the ball well, if you're a top tier team, because that's just the trend that happens.
Yeah,
You
you
guys
gotta
don't shoot
shoot
well,
well
and the team that's going against
because
you is shooting
yeah,
great.
yes, the team that goes against you, they see a target on your back because you are seen as a top team, and that brings the best out of every team you play. Every team you play wants to beat you.
Um, Iowa State, or Iowa, not Iowa State, Iowa loses to Penn State. It's the first time
Oh
Penn State's been
man,
ranked in a bit, and they came out with the win.
Iowa, what did you guys do at the end of that game? You choked that away.
This game
That
was a
was your
great game to watch.
that
Overtime
was your
too.
upset, man. That was your upset. Penn State, a surprising team out of the Big Ten this year as well.
They're a football team, but they're emerging in the basketball court. It's gonna
Uh,
be, but they also just recently lost too, so I don't know about that.
that's what I'm saying. Like these, nobody is safe. Like everybody's looked convincing, and then they've looked vulnerable and weak, and it's really up for grabs this year, and that's what I
Basketball's
like.
been
That's what I like.
basketball's been all over the place, which makes it a lot of fun because March Madness, I don't even know what to think. That
If
is
somebody
gonna.
gets a perfect bracket this year, holy shit, you're fucking amazing.
All I know is I'm gonna be texting down back and forth saying what the fuck Ohio State lost or what the fuck this team lost. Who
Well, I'll say
knows?
one thing: I'm not going to be too worried that time of year because my Tar Heels are definitely not making the tournament.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be talking about March Madness. Now I'm gonna be talking about the NIC
NIT,
or
fuck you.
NIT. Yeah,
And those games, I won't be watching. I will be watching March Madness like any normal fan. I enjoy every March Madness game. It's just going to be a little hole in my heart when my team doesn't play in it.
but
Okay.
who will you be rooting for to
But
lose?
although I will enjoy not being stressed because college March Madness every game I am stressed to the max when North Carolina plays, even if it's not that close. Like
It can
I am a
a
huge
16
fan.
team can win. It goes all over the place.
Yeah, I am a huge college basketball fan. I get into it. It's really stressful. I hate the stress that some of the games bring on me, even though it doesn't matter. It's like it's just a game. I get that, but for some reason, it's just like stressful, and I take it super serious. There's a lot of bragging rights in my household with
But
Duke
you're
fans,
gonna be
and they
looking for
talk a
Duke to
lot of
lose.
shit.
You're gonna be
I'm
looking
gonna
for
be
Duke
looking
to
for
lose.
that because I'm gonna get so much shit when North Carolina is not in the tournament this year. I'm not gonna hear the fucking end of it, and it's going to suck
But you can just say, imagine Duke having that much talent and not winning at
and
all.
not winning. Yeah. Um, I have a question. As of right now, if you had to pick the team that's going to win the college basketball and who's going to win March Madness, who would you pick?
Florida Atlantic.
What?
That's what it's been all over the place. Honestly, a real answer would probably be, uh, honestly, I don't know.
It's so
Give
hard,
your thought
dude.
on it. I gotta think real quick.
You're not gonna choose, huh?
I gotta look real quick. I gotta think.
Yeah, there's just so many god dang teams.
I know because everybody's been all over the place, and honestly, Kansas is probably my team.
I was thinking about that. Kansas is finally starting to like figure it out. They did lose to Villanova a few weeks ago. They picked it back up with the win over West Virginia. Um, March Madness is won by experience. Seniors are key in March Madness, and Kansas has a few of them. Okay, I'm not saying freshman teams are bad, but it's shown in many tournaments that the freshman teams, when it comes to these games in March Madness, don't have that experience to help them through it, and it just ends up costing them because the certain situations hurt. I don't think I remember any team besides the Anthony Davis Kentucky team and the 2016 Duke team to win with freshmen. That's it. The rest of them are all senior based or juniors. And with that, my choice right now, if I had to pick a team, would probably either be Kansas, like you said, or even though they're in a slump, the games I watched them in were very convincing. They've got good big men, they've got shooters, they've got leadership, and that's why I think your Ohio State Buckeyes are a great team in this tournament when it comes to March.
See, I was thinking a different Big Ten team. I was thinking about Maryland.
Really, I just think they're too young, and then there's just games where their offense is non-existent.
There is that, which is very scary for March Madness, but I don't know. The Buckeyes are right now. I believe before I thought that, but right now they're in a rough patch, so I can't see them doing too well.
Well, you'd rather have a rust patch now than later.
I see them as of right now. I see them making it to the Elite Eight. That's it.
It's crazy though, because a few weeks ago I thought Michigan was one of the top teams in the country, and now they've lost 4.
Yeah, it's it's been all over the place. It's been a great season, but also a terrible season.
Let's just expect madness in March. That's all I've got to say.
And that's where it gets the name. But I think that wraps it up for us. You got any final thoughts before you want to wrap it up?
No, I hope you guys are enjoying our podcast. I hope that our schedule starts getting back on track. I will say we're probably going to release more podcasts with just either 2 out of the 3 members because that's easier. It's also more enjoyable for us at times because some topics just aren't as easy to talk about as others for us.
And you might see them be shorter just because you don't have 3 people talking on a topic. It's only 2. And usually it's hard for us to group together and get all 3 of us to talk on a topic for an hour and a half. So it allows us, and me and Dom are more able to talk on topics than him and Colton or me and Colton. So it allows us to shorten the podcast, but also get them out more often. So it just brings a little bit more to the table for people to watch. But if you guys did enjoy this podcast, leave a like, hit the big red subscribe button. We very, very much appreciate it. 5-star rating on Spotify, our iTunes. And other than that, hopefully you guys are enjoying the podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next one.